Welcome to the Amalgamation. We have Shella, Silla in the building, the owner of Sister Golf. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. And we were just talking about, where you from. So kind of introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I've been living in Birmingham for 11 years now. Ended up in Birmingham as a result of family. My younger sister is who got me here. So I wasn't really keen on the idea of moving to Birmingham at first. But I had visited a bunch of times because my two nephews were here and I'd never missed a birthday and was always here to support family. We're from a very close-knit family. And although I was reluctant at first because I had lived in Charlotte for a couple of years and Charlotte was very cliquish and it was very hard to penetrate into that community. And people were telling me, you moving to Birmingham is worse. They more cliquish. You can't, break in to the community at all. So I was a little bit squeamish and hesitant about coming here and had flat out told my sister, no, I'm not moving to Birmingham. I'm going back home to Miami, Florida. And she enlisted the help of my mom and they sort of double teamed me. And she was just like, your sister needs you, go to Birmingham. So I reluctantly agreed and say, okay, I will come for a year and a half. I will give it a chance and see what happens. And what really surprised me was Birmingham community was nothing like what I expected it to be. It was definitely not what people in Charlotte had told me. It was very welcoming and very inclusive and very supportive, which was a surprise to me. At first I thought, wait, where's Ashton? Am I being punked? Because ain't no way everybody's just nice. I mean, everybody was nice. Not just black people, white folks too. Was like, okay, what do you do? Sister Golf? Oh, wow, that's a great, concept. How can I plug you in? Who can I connect you to? And that's how I felt like the community really rallies around entrepreneurs. If they see you're doing something, especially something different and unique and something that could be beneficial, they really try to rally around you to shore you up. And so that made me feel like this was the right move for me and made me feel comfortable in being here. Because at first, my impression from the outside looking in, which a lot of people have, because my friends in Miami still feel that way, it's like, are there any paved streets in Birmingham? Isn't it real country? Isn't it real backwards? And isn't it really racially charged? And so I came with all of those preconceived ideas of what Birmingham was going to be, and Birmingham showed me something totally different. So I'm, really grateful. And I'm happy that that's what I found. And I found real community and real friends and decided that this was the right place for me to start and grow the brand. One of the things that my younger sister did to get me here was just like, you've always wanted to do your sister golf thing. We have the RTJ, golf trail. This would be the perfect environment. You should come, you should do it. So with that encouragement in hand, once I landed in Birmingham proper, I decided to go ahead and launch and start Sister Golf. So, and Sister Golf came about because my background, as I was talking to you off camera before, is in banking and corporate banking. I was in that arena or industry for close to 25 years. I did the gamut. I started out as a credit analyst, moved into being a junior lender, then became a business banker. I did corporate banking, I did a little bit of wealth management, and I also did commercial real estate finance. And early on in my journey, found that business banking is really a sales job. You're a salesperson, you're trying to bring clients to the bank, and you're trying to bring deposits and loans to the bank. So I was out there calling on business clients, trying to get them to move their banking relationship to the bank. Thought that my personality was gonna be enough and people was gonna like me and say, sure, y'all got great products, I'm coming over here. And that is not what it was at all. You really need to build relationships. And so you're encouraged to go to networking events, take people to breakfast, do all the things, and still found that in and of itself is still not enough to develop the type of relationship that you need to get someone to move their whole banking relationship over. But in very short order, found that my colleagues, who are all male, mostly male, very few women in the lending space, especially back at that time, were using golf as a tool to network and build relationships. And at the time, I had zero interest in golf. I had never played in high school or college, didn't know anything about the sport. I thought it was something that rich old white men did and found it very boring to watch on TV. But if I felt that it was something that can help me achieve my goals and get to where I was going, as one of my male colleagues was telling me, I was like, all right, I'm willing to give it a try. So fast forward, I decided to take some lessons, and to my surprise, ended up liking it. Did not think I would end up liking it at all. Ended up liking it, and then when I would go back to the office and tell my colleagues, hey, I started taking lessons, now we had something to connect on, outside of just business and work, and that helped me deepen my relationship with my colleagues. And so they, in turn, encouraged me, hey, the next time the bank sponsors a tournament, you should play. And I was still like, yo, I took 2 lessons, y'all, I ain't ready. And I think, well, I didn't embarrass myself. That ain't what we about to do, So I reluctantly took their advice and did all the things, got my cute outfit, got my clubs, did all the things, and was prepared. So I did go out and played my first tournament with the bank and played terribly. But it was me and 100 dudes. And so everybody was like, who's that girl? Who, and people coming up to me, what you doing? You driving a golf cart? You doing registration? No, I'm playing. You playing? And so people really wanted to get to know more about me. And so I was able to forge relationships. I had my little business cards out, exchange cards with people, and was able to form a really good relationship with one of the guys out there who happened to be a CPA. And if you know anything about banking, CPAs are your best referral source because they are the ones that are doing the books for all the businesses. So they know who needs financing next, and they can literally refer clients to you. And so not only did that CPA become a client of mine, he started referring clients to me. So I, in very short order, went from being someone who was barely meeting my goals and missing them every month to someone who was a member of the $1 Million Club, where I was closing over $1 million in deals because of referrals that I was getting. So that was kind of the connector or the light bulb moment for me to show me the power that the sport has. You always hear about all the deals that are made on the golf course, and you really don't necessarily understand what that means. But I was able to realize that the deal per se is not, initiated or birthed there, but the relationship is that makes the deal flow easy. So once they know, like, and trust you, because that's what you want, then the deal is easy to close. And so a lot of times women miss out on those opportunities because we're intimidated by the sport, because we feel like, well, I don't know anything about golf, I'm not gonna go out there, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. And that's what keeps us away. Meanwhile, you're missing out on all those opportunities. So that's where my light bulb moment happened, where I said, what can I do to bring more women to the light, or let more women see that this is an arena that we're missing out on, not necessarily because the men aren't inviting us, because in some cases that is what it is, but in most cases it's because we self-exclude. It's because the opportunity presents itself and you're like, that ain't for me, I'm not going out there, let the guys have that. I'd rather do something else, or I'll, take some clients out to dinner, or I'll do the traditional way of doing things. And you can skip a lot of the life cycle or time cycle in which it takes to close a deal by just virtually saying, you know what, I'm willing to go out here and spend this time. Because a typical round of golf takes about 4.5 hours. So you're spending 4.5 uninterrupted hours with a potential client, and them really getting to know you. And what you will find with humans, that we all have something in common. I don't care where you're from, you're gonna find points of commonality. You're gonna be like, oh, I went to this university. Oh, you went to that university? My cousin's, sister-in-law went there. There's gonna be a connection somewhere. And once you are able to create those points of commonality, that's when relationships deepen. And you find out, this person's like me and I really like her. And that's the type of person that I can do business with. So that's where the impetus for Sister Golf came. But then it just became, okay, how do I put this together in a way that becomes something that I can package and teach and turn into a business. And so I went into the lab and really started thinking about it, because at the time, really no one else was doing anything like this. Now there's a few people, it's become more popular. And if you go to different cities, there might be a few organizations that are doing the same type of thing, trying to get more women, trying to get more people of color, trying to get more youth into the sport. But when I first started it back in 2013, which in fact was 10 years after I had the idea, because I had the idea in 2003, but I put it on the shelf because I was still working a full-time job and really didn't have time to devote it to it 100%. But even when I started in 2013, there was really nobody else doing it. So I spent a lot of time really just trying to educate folks on what it is that I was trying to do. And at first, people thought it was just a hobby or a group of women, you know, or me just trying to get Black women or women of color into playing golf, until they really understood, no, it's really a business development company using golf as a catalyst, you know, for people to find a way to make visibility or access or proximity to decision makers easier, so you can excel in the workplace or you can excel in business. So that's where the whole idea really came from. So I tested it out when I first came to Birmingham by just putting out a free workshop to see, you know, are there women out there that are interested in learning about golf or interested in how I can help them for business. I had it right at the Stavia Library. I think I put it out on Facebook, and to my surprise had several women who were really interested and showed up. I was like, oh, okay. And so I saw that it was an idea that had legs, and then from there just really through a lot of experimentation and, you know, putting on different events and programs, saw where it could lead. And today what we have is Sister Golf has a membership, and what that membership includes is I do, including the membership is a free webinar that I do once a month that covers a different topic about golf, because golf has so many different facets, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people away from it, because they're afraid of doing something that's going to embarrass them, or they don't know what create a faux pas while they're on the course. So everything from what to wear, you know, what equipment that you need, you know, what is a handicap, how you calculate your handicap, how to take score. If you're going to an event like Regis Tradition, how am I supposed to dress? How do I follow it? How do I read the leaderboard? All of those things. And so in addition to that, I hold group golf lessons once a quarter. So we do a spring, summer, fall, and winter session that is 5 weeks that covers all of the different aspects of the sport. We cover putting, chipping, pitching, full swing, and long irons and driver. So you get all of that at a discount with the membership. We also host practice sessions, because what I found is women are different from men in terms of how they learn, especially when it comes to something like sports. Because if you see guys in the gym, guys are all in the weight section with their headphones on and they're pumping iron by themselves. All the women are in the Zumba class or the group fitness class or the spin class. And so it's difficult. You'll give a woman a lesson to then say, okay, go out and practice by yourself. So we host practice sessions, so we're in a group and we're putting into practice what we learn. I also host play dates, so you'll actually get a chance to play a round of golf, so you can feel the pace of play and how it goes and how the game is supposed to flow. So you're not out there feeling like a fish out of water when you actually do accept your first invitation to play a round of golf. So also do like little social networking events for members. So we have a lot of things that's included in the membership program to make people feel like I have all of the information and I'm armed with everything that I need, so that I can confidently accept an invitation and go out to play when the time comes. And my hope is that more women will gravitate towards the sport, whether they decide to do it for leisure, because now it's like everybody's into golf. Golf is a new hot thing. It's men, women, because you got a lot of professional athletes, you got celebrities playing, it's the glitz and glamour. Everybody has a new apparel line for golf. And so a lot of people are gravitating to it for that purpose. And while it's great, I'm happy for the exposure that the sport is getting, but I stay on the purpose-driven side, because I really want people to leverage it and utilize it to help them financially and to help them professionally, move up as far as their career is concerned. And if you, at the same time, end up having fun and using it for leisure, great. But I'm more purpose driven because I think a lot of times people pick stuff up for fun and it becomes a fad and then you quickly put it down because it's just temporary. But I want it to stick more and have more meaningful impact for folks, especially for women, because men have been closing $1 million deals for as long as the game has been around on the golf course, and I think it's time women get a piece of that pie too. And I know I've talked a whole lot, but if there's anywhere you have a question that you want to jump in.